Alright, welcome to another video. So in this video, I'm just going to try to make this video as quick and short and simple as possible. Because after this video, we're going to move on to setting up the dashboard. And from the dashboard side, we're just going to allow the admin to modify the prefix as well as the welcome channel ID. But the whole purpose of the dashboard that I'm trying to demonstrate for you all is not to, change these little values. The whole point is to show you how to ensure that the correct user is able to access the dashboard and the correct server as well. Show you all how to make sure that we are only showing or only allowing the user to modify configurations for servers that they belong to and have the correct permissions. And that's really the whole point of the dashboard. It's not really to, have a bunch of different features and how to, change them through an API because it becomes really redundant at some point. Anyways, let's go ahead and set up the commands to change the prefix, as well as changing the welcome channel ID. I'm not going to bother worrying about permissions because it's just not really. I mean, I'll let you all take care of that, but I'm not going to really worry about permissions on the bot side of things. So what I'll do is let me go into here. Let's just do slappy. Let's generate a command, and let's just call the command. Let's just do ch prefix. Category of the command. We'll just call this mod. Okay, so we just created a brand new command, and let's test this out. Let's make sure it works. Ch prefix. Okay, it was a question mark. Okay, so the command works. So this is literally just going to take in one argument. The argument is literally just going to be the name of the prefix or the letter of the prefix, the symbol, whatever it is. And we're just going to literally update the database. It's going to be a very simple process. So we do need to get the repository. So the same thing that we did in guild create event, we can actually just do that inside the ch prefix command. Now, one thing that I will mention that I would encourage you guys as a challenge is to learn about dependency injection and find a way to set this up so that instead of having to call get repository every single time, you can actually just call one instance of it, and that way you can just kind of like inject that dependency into your class. But don't worry about that for now. I just wanted to mention that for those who are eager to learn about that, to seek that as a challenge. Anyways, so we have the repository. All we gotta do is we just gotta find the we gotta first get the correct prefix. So let's do const new prefix equals args. So args is gonna be an array, right? And what we're doing is we're just gonna destructure the first argument. So I'll show you how this is gonna work. So if I use the ch prefix command, right, and I do a, b, c all in spaces, you're going to see that in the logs, it's only going to log A because we're only getting the first argument. And that's the only thing that we care about. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the first argument. Now, what I'll do also is if args.length is equal to 0, which, I mean, honestly, we could just do if there's no args.length. Message.channel.send. Please provide an argument. And we'll just return. So if I do ch prefix, there we go, perfect. Okay, great. So if the argument was provided, then good. Okay, what's next is we need to go ahead and get the actual configuration. But this is going to be a little bit tricky, remember, because if we're updating something in the database, remember, we also need to update it in memory too. And this is why, like I said, long-term, Redis is a better solution. Because you don't have to save everything in literally just the whole application. You'll have a whole Redis server that has all that stuff for you, but we'll worry about that later. Don't worry. I'm really excited. You can tell that I'm very excited when I'm bringing up all of these different things because I'm just so eager to show you all like cool stuff, but we'll worry about that later. But for now, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and call guild config repository. We want to update the correct document. Correct document. So guild ID is going to be message.guild ID right there. What's going on here? Yeah, there we go. Okay. And then what we want to update it with is the prefix, which is just going to be new prefix right there. Now, this is obviously going to give us an issue because of the guild ID, but I'm just going to use an exclamation mark to ignore that null check for now. Okay, and this is going to be an asynchronous operation, so we will await that. Okay, and I will wrap this in a try catch, so if it does succeed, we will send a message. If it fails, we'll log the error, and we'll send the message to the channel. Something went wrong. Updated prefix successfully. Okay, and we then need to update the prefix in memory. Now, when you update, I don't even think it gives you back the new value, I think. Let me actually see. Yeah, I don't think it's going to give you the new value. I think there is actually a way. I don't know if there's a way to actually get the new value, which is kind of annoying. But actually, one thing that I just saw on Stack Overflow, what you can do is instead of using update, you can actually just use the .save method. But that would actually require you to have the guild config, which I guess that's okay because we know we actually have it. We can actually retrieve that real easily. Yeah, so let's do this instead. Const config equals client.configs.gets message.guild ID. So this is going to give us the config, and because this is an instance of guild config or guild configuration, we can easily just modify this like so. So we can just spread the entire all the current properties, okay, and then we just update the prefix. We can just override that with a new prefix like this. You know, I'm just gonna call this prefix, so I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, this should be fine. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna label it new prefix. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, saving it will be a lot better, and this will give us will return a new value. Sorry, I lost my speech for a second. Let's console log this. Then we'll do client.configs.set message.guild ID, and then we'll do. I'm gonna call this new config, or actually, let me call this updated config. I want to be very precise with my names, my variable names. There we go. So we'll console log client.configs. All right, let's test this out. So it should update in the database as well as in memory. So we'll double check for both. Okay, so right now let's check everything. Okay, question mark, $, question mark. We're gonna change this to exclamation mark. So this is updated successfully. You can see on the database, it's there. If we look at the logs, it updated great. And if I try to use the old prefix, let's change the caret sign, it's not going to work. But if I use the new prefix and change it back to question mark, it works. Okay, and I've done this before on my channel before, so those of you who have seen those videos before, it's really very, very similar. Okay, so we update the prefix to question mark, so it's updated to %. There we go, and we can see that in the logs, it actually does update it to %, and in the database, it's a %. Okay, pretty cool. And let's go ahead and try this out on other servers now. So right now we're in the BMW server, so the prefix is $. So let's change it to caret sign. If I try to use $sign here, it's not going to work. We have to use caret sign. Let's change it to exclamation mark. And if I use test, there we go. Perfect. And we can look at it inside the database. Both the database and the memory is updated. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So we know that it works in different guilds, and that's awesome. Okay, so that's pretty much it for change prefix. Do we have enough time to do change welcome channel? Yeah, let's do that real quick. Let's go ahead and generate a command. Ch welcome channel. I know the name sucks, but we'll just deal with it for now. It's okay. I know it sucks, but don't worry. It's only temporary. Okay, for changing the welcome channel, it's literally the same logic, okay? It's literally gonna be the same logic. Honestly, I think there's probably gonna be a way where we can honestly just reuse this method, but yeah, let me just do this real quick. I'm just gonna copy and paste literally this whole thing. Okay. And then we're also gonna get the repository. So like I said, just the simple copy paste. Save us some time. Okay. So if args.length is equal to 0, well, if it's not falsy, right? So if there's no arguments, please provide an argument. We'll call this new ID. I'll just call it new channel ID instead. Okay. Instead of updating the prefix, we're going to update the welcome channel ID. Okay. We're going to log update config, updated welcome channel successfully, and literally everything else is the same. So let's test this out by going to our Discord server. So right now, let me go into here. I'm going to update the Lexus server. So let me create a new channel. So let's see, let's just do welcome new users. Copy the ID. All right, so now if I go into the server, let's do, what's our prefix? It's %, that's right. What is this exclamation mark? So annoying. Let's see, welcome channel. All right, so now we updated the welcome channel successfully. You should see that the ID should be different. Okay, so now let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and try to, I'm going to leave the server and I'm going to join. And you're going to see that it's going to send the message into new users now instead. And the same thing would work in literally all the other servers too, the same way. Okay, so that's literally it when it comes to modifying values in the database with commands. And I think that's going to be it. So I think we're ready to move on to the actual Discord dashboard. So what we're going to do in the next episode is we're going to set up, I think the first thing that we'll do is probably set up the backend, and then we'll do the front end stuff first. Though setting up the backend is going to be a little bit tricky because we do need to set up OAuth 2, and that's going to take some time. Yeah, we also will be using, I think we'll probably be using Nest.js in my opinion. I don't really feel comfortable using Express with type ORM, if I'm being honest with you. But I think Nest.js will be the framework that we'll be using. I've done many tutorials on Nest.js too, so if you all want to check that out, the link is, they're all on my channel, so don't worry about that. So yeah, we'll start off with some backend. We'll do backend and front end as well. And like I said, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I know it might sound very, challenging, but don't worry. I'm gonna do my best to guide you all through this process. So I think this is going to be it for the Discord bot side of things. Everything else from here is just going to be full stack front end and back end with React and Nest.js. So I'll see you all in those next episodes. Peace out.